I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be make plans and ask for what you want when you're a man if you want to get the things that you want from women in the first place. I've got a great email here from a guy who's followed pretty much most everything I teach, almost to a T, with the exception of the last part, which is what we like to call in sales is the close or the trial close. And so that's simply basically asking for the order, asking for the business, asking the woman to come back to your place to have a bottle of wine with you or a nightcap or whatever it happens to be when you guys are kissing, you're making out and you're fooling around with each other, or she brings up the fact that she's open to having casual unattached sex with you. You got to make plans right then and there on the spot, and you don't wait and you don't hesitate. And so I want you to follow along this because it's pretty good what this guy's done. It's just that he kind of fumbled the football at the end. I mean, the girl's kind of like waiting for him to do something. He didn't do anything. But it's a great email nonetheless. He says, "Hey, Corey, I need your help. I want to get my girlfriend back, and I'm close to doing so." He says, "About 2.5 months ago, she started withdrawal. And as I look back, I was way too nice and exhibiting some needy behaviors. She went out of town for a family vacation, and when she returned, she really blew me off. For 3 weeks, I tried to see her. She would take my calls and answer my texts, but always made an excuse that she was too busy." That's because you were doing all the chasing. So this guy's trying to get his girlfriend back, and he was doing all the chasing, and it obviously wasn't working. He says, "I was becoming unglued, and I told her she was losing me and she had no reaction." Yeah, because she didn't care, obviously, at the time. He says, and she didn't feel like there was anything to lose because she obviously knew that you wanted her more than she wanted you. And it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. He says, "I was desperate to see her and for answers, but I got nowhere. Then I found myself having 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, of an in-home pity party, and I came across your videos." Yeah, it's like people usually come to my website, not because things are going great, but because the shit's hitting the fan. He says, "I did a 36-hour marathon of watching video after video." He says, "I called her Thursday night and said I made VIP plans for us at a local club this Saturday I thought would do us some good just to cut loose and have some fun. She said, 'I can't, I'm busy.' I said, 'No problem, I'm going to the club. Feel free to call me when your schedule opens to spend time together.' That evening after I spoke to her, I went to a salsa dancing class and I met 2 girls. The one girl I invited to join me at the VIP event on Saturday." Nice fucking job. And this is why you just, wherever you go, you're making dates and you're meeting women, because when one door closes, another one opens. He says the same, but if you're not opening other doors, you're not going to get any other chances, and you're going to be sitting home feeling sorry for yourself because of just one particular girl that told you no. He says, "The same event, my girlfriend blew me off to go Saturday night. I'm at the club, and in walks my girlfriend's best friend. She says, 'What are you doing here?' He said, 'I'm here to have fun.' She said, 'Where is so-and-so, his girlfriend?' He said, 'I don't know. I haven't seen her for 5 weeks and only briefly spoken to her.' At that moment, I feel a tug on my arm, and it's the girl I invited." Nice. Good timing, isn't it? It's awesome. These are the kind of things that only help your case. He says, "I excused myself, and we headed to the bar to get drinks. We then headed to the dance floor, walking past my ex-girlfriend's best friend, and we danced all damn night. A few days later, I invited the same girl to another club. While in the club, I see my girlfriend's best friend. She informs me that my girlfriend is on her way. Later that evening, I see my girlfriend. I walk over and how convenient. And he says, 'Hey, how you doing? I'm not sure why we're not talking or why you're not talking to me, but I will give you your space.' She said, 'You look good.' And I said, 'You look good,' and said, 'Great to see you,' and walked away. I then left with the girl and another couple. The next morning, I get a text from my ex, of course, and the text says she wants to meet that night or whenever works for me to talk." Amazing how that effect that has on women when they see that you're just moving on with your life and you're not looking back. That's why I say the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. He says, "I didn't respond until the following morning, sending this text. If you want to meet and discuss what's going on and talk about working things out, I'm interested. If it's for any other reason, I'm not interested. I think it's best just to leave things as is and move on." Good job. He says, she responded, I see you've moved on, and that's clear to me. He says, I texted back, I also made it clear about working things out. She texted back, talking the phone, but not good time right now. My daughter's home. And then he says, I never responded back. He says, fast forward 3 weeks later, I text her, hi, when would be a good time to meet up and return personal items? She texted, I'm planning on playing tennis tonight, but I can cancel to meet you. I said, yes, that works. See you at 6:30. We met at a neutral location. We met and did a brief hug, and she started talking. She said, I can't be in this relationship. Not sure why I can't. I have no emotions. I said, that's okay. People come into each other's lives at different times for different reasons. You came into mine and made my transition fantastic. Or I guess the new state where he moved to, which I'm not going to say what it is. He says, I made and kept eye contact with her, making sure she would be the only one breaking eye contact. She said, I see you have moved on. And she then asked, how is my new sales position going? And I said, great. I'm leading in sales for the second month in a row. She said, you look good and are doing fine. Really fitting into the area, and some lucky girl will get you. I said, you already have the luck. She started to loosen. That was a good comeback. She started to loosen up, and she said, she's been looking at pictures of us and then started to talk and laugh about things we did. As she was talking, I would look her in the eyes and then her lips, and then she was playing with her necklace, leaning across the table laughing, tilting her head, even touched my hand with her fingers. That's a good sign. And at one point, she spoke of something we did, and I put my hand up for a high five, and she high-fived me and then interlocked her fingers with mine. More touching. That's good. A man's job is to create a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen. And that tells me some frisky things are starting to happen here. And you always got to pay attention to those signals and act upon them. He says, we have been talking for 2 hours and I knew it was time to end it. She said, can we still be friends and talk? I said, I'm not interested in being friends and I'm not interested in rushing back into an exclusive relationship either. But what I am interested in is having unbelievable, mind-blowing, uncommitted sex with you. Nice. She said, what? With her eyes real big. Yeah, because you probably couldn't believe you said that. Fucking big balls. Good job, dude. He says, I repeated it looking deep into her eyes. She said, oh my God, I remember the first time you fingered me in the front seat and somehow I slid off of the seat and under the dash as an orgasm, and I felt like a wet noodle, so to speak. And she says, I want that again. And when she says, I want that again, that's when you say, well, when are you free to get together? Like, that's when you say, well, why don't we go back to my place right now? Why don't you follow me back to my place? That's what you should have said. That's where he started to go off the rails. He says, I said, we can have that. She said, but what if sex causes me to have emotions again with you? I said, don't complicate it. We can worry about the future later. We just have to live and take things one day at a time. He says, I walked her to her car and gave her a deep emotional kiss. I could feel her heart race and lose control, the same feeling we had when we first kissed. She was ripe. You should have just fucking taken her back to your place and fucked her brains out right then and there. That's what you should have done. Create an opportunity for sex to happen. That, at the end of the day, is a man's job. Create a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen. He says, I looked deep into her eyes and said, you take care of yourself, and walked away. The next day, I got a text from her, and she says, I forgot to give you the check I owe you. Your fault. I texted back, no problem. Now I can experience the feeling of being handed a check after sex, LOL. She texted back, should I split the check into many small ones? In other words, she wants to have sex multiple times, is what she's insinuating. He says, I text that, divide by 365, LOL. He says, it's been 5 days and I haven't contacted her. He says, Corey, I don't want to fuck this up. I know I'm walking a fine line between not pursuing and not holding back. Please advise. Well, you should have made a date. You should have just made sex happen right then and there on the spot. But you didn't, so you fucked up there. He says, all I thought she was receptive. I don't see her chasing me. Where do you think she is mentally and what do I have to do? When should I contact her? When do I contact her? I was just going to ask her when she is free to get or when do I contact her, ask when she's free to get together. Well, you already should have done that. You got her all wound up, and then you just let the sexual tension just kind of diffuse on its own. He says, I can walk away from her and move on, and I have no fear of losing her. However, she's a great woman. It would be great if I could get through this. I'm patiently waiting for the cat to come back. Well, like I said, you got to take advantage of the opportunities, and she just coldly communicated. I'm told, like, she's basically, fuck me, take me, do it to me. And you just walked away and you did nothing. So you can do one of two things. You can wait for her to reach out to you next, or you can wait a full week and then text her and say, hey, when are you free to get together? And just simply arrange an opportunity for sex. Get together for a drink. Have her come over to your place. Just say, hey, why don't you grab a bottle of wine and come on over to my place? And we'll make dinner together. It's all you got to do. You don't need to go out. You don't need to do nothing. And just keep it really simple. But good job in getting her wound up and getting her back to that place. Just the only critique I have is that she was totally open and ready to get pounded by you. And you passed on the pussy because you thought you needed to do something else. Don't overthink things. When a girl presents herself, when she communicates like she does, she made it blatantly obvious she's totally open to you fucking her over and over and over again. So it's your job as a man, because you're the one with the penis, to make it happen. So I would, at this point, reach out to her and make something happen because you didn't do it. But if she's unreceptive, then just tell her, hey, shoot me a text, give me a call when you're ready to. And then just leave it at that and wait to hear from her. And when she does reach out, make an opportunity for sex to happen. That's all you need to do. Keep it really simple. Don't complicate things. So if you have a question you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max. And just give me several days to get back to you with a response. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device already, there's a button that you can click to download a free e-reader app for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters and the articles on my website, you can show your appreciation by going to my website right now. And on the Wibia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.